नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांता स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Now I share Leelamrita with all of you. Can you see Leelamrita on the screen? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. I ask from one of you to read from this para. At 50, a man is supposed to. Can any one of you read? Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, me. Prabhuji, me.
Yeah, you can start.
At 50, a man is supposed to retire from his family activities. At this stage is called Vanaprastha. In the Vanaprastha ashrama, both man and wife agree to abstain from further sexual contact. They may continue living together, but the emphasis is on spiritual partnership. A Vanaprastha, they may travel together on pilgrimage to ashramas after having one to fulfill material.
No, you skipped a line. They may travel together on pilgrimage to the holy places.
The holy places in India, preparing for the
inevitable departure
from the material world. Thus, the Vedic ashramas, after allowing one to fulfill material life, enable one to the end the cycle of repeated birth and death and attain the eternal spiritual world. A man of 50 should be able to see by his aging body that inevitable death is approaching, and he should have the good sense to prepare. In the final
Thank you. Let us discuss about this pair. What did you all understood from this para? What is the ultimate goal of life? I will say one name. They have to answer. Okay. Anish Kumar, what did you understand from this para? What should be our goal of life? Anish Kumar. Otherwise, any one of you can raise hands. Any of you can raise hand. I will give chance. Okay. Lakshmit Reddy, you can answer.
Prabhuji, the meaning of the paragraph is that a man who is 50 years old must,
yes, Prabhuji,
must follow.
There was a problem.
I sincerely request others to please listen carefully. Yes, Lakshmit, you can answer.
A man who is 50 years must, when he is 50 years, he has to leave his family activities and attend Vanaprastha, Prabhuji.
Is that goal of life?
No, in that in the Vanaprastha ashram we had to visit many ashramas and holy places of India.
Is that goal of life?
And then the goal of life is to end the repeated birth and death.
No, that is still not the goal of the life. Goal of our life. I'm asking straightforward question. What did you understand from Pera about the goal of our life?
Prabhuji,
Straightforward answer in 2 words, in 2-3 words. I'll ask Jashit to answer.
Prabhuji, to reach Krishna.
Hmm. What is mentioned in the Pera?
Prabhuji, it mentioned like that the stages of ashram, like Vanaprastha at 50 years. he
So
should.
no. I'll tell you the answer. Goal of life is to go back to Godhead. Go back to spiritual world. That is mentioned in Pera, right? So the goal of accepting Vanaprastha ashram is to detach from material life. So before 50 years, one might be in Grihastha ashram, living with children, family members, wife, right? But in family life, one may be attached to family members like children, wife, and one may have sex life with wife, right? So this attachment to family members, children, materially will cause bondage to this material world. One has to take birth again. So that is why after Grihasthashram, Vanaprastha ashrama is recommended to detach oneself from family life, right? At 50 years, one can accept one Vanaprastha ashrama, and during Vanaprastha ashrama, one is not recommended to participate in sex life. One can stop that, and one can continue living with wife, but one can use that association of one's wife in visiting holy places, practicing spiritual activities with more enthusiasm, with more determination. So detach oneself from material life. So in this way, in Vanaprastha ashrama, one can live with wife, but should not indulge in sex. And one should visit many holy places and take association of devotees, practice many spiritual activities with strong determination. So in this way, one can detach oneself from material life and attach it to spiritual life, so that one can prepare oneself at the end of death to go back to Godhead, so that one can be freed from cycle of birth and death and go back to spiritual life, spiritual world. So that is the goal of life. Okay, we'll continue with the next para. Yes. Any other participant can read?
Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
Yeah, please read.
Yes, Prabhuji. In the final division, the sannyasa asrama, the man takes his wife in the care of a grown son and fully dedicates himself to serving the Supreme Lord. Formerly, the sannyasa asrama meant a solitary life of penances in the Himalayas. But in the Gaudiya Vaishnava line, the Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati had emphasized preaching. Although Abhay had not formally defined his status within the four ashramas, he appeared to be living more as a Vanaprastha than a Grihastha. He saw his business failures and his distasteful family situation as Krishna's blessings, freeing him from family responsibilities and turning him wholeheartedly towards executing Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati's order to preach. Should I read next one also?
No. Let us discuss on these two paragraphs. Okay. So, what is the next ashrama that one can take or one can accept after Vanaprastha ashram?
Sannyas.
That is sannyas ashram, right? So, in sannyas ashrama, one can practice many penances, austerities for self-realization. So, this is usual process. But in our Gaudiya Sampradaya, what is recommended by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj?
To preach. To preach around the world.
Right. So why we have to preach? Who is recommended this process? Who initiated this process?
Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He said
Yeah,
to preach.
Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj recommended this process of preaching during sannyasa asrama instead of going to Himalayas and practicing austerities. Maharaj recommended us to preach throughout world. That is why he instructed his disciple Srila Prabhupada to preach across the world, right? And it is also mentioned in 2 paragraphs that in Vanaprastha, in sannyasa asrama, one gives the responsibility of taking his wife to his son, grown-up son, right? Mature son. So can you quote some example from Shastra who has handed over his wife to a matured grown-up son for taking sannyasa asrama? Before accepting sannyasa asrama, husband gives responsibility of taking his wife to his grown-up son. So we have one wonderful example from Srimad Bhagavatam. Can anyone tell? Who has handed over his wife to his grown-up son to take care of his wife, and he then accepted sannyasa asrama? No idea? Okay. Have you heard of Kardama Muni?
Kardama Muni.
Yes, Kardama Muni. Have you ever heard of Kardama Muni?
No, Prabhuji.
No?
No, Prabhuji.
So his life history comes in Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Brahma gives him an instruction to get married. So he actually
Yes, Prabhuji, in Ramayana it comes about one Gautama Muni, that one. Prabhuji.
No,
Means like he'll
no.
give Ahal.
Lord Brahma gives an instruction to Kardama Muni to get married. Actually, he wanted to continue his brahmachari life throughout life. But when Lord Brahma instructed him to get married, then he follows the instruction very faithfully and sincerely, and he gets married. And he accepts Grihasasrama. He lives with his wife. Then after begetting some children, then he takes a sannyasa asrama. Then he got son, Lord Kapila. Lord Kapila himself appears as a son to Kardama Muni. When Lord Kapila grows up and becomes a mature son, then Kardama Muni gives a responsibility of taking care of his wife to Lord Kapila. Then he leaves for sannyasa ashram to perform austerities, more penances for self-realization. So in what is the difference between Grihasasrama, Vanaprastha and sannyasa asrama? Can you tell? We have
Prabhuji,
I will ask one of you. You can raise your hand.
Prabhuji, I want to answer.
I ask Abhay Charan to
Prabhu, once you repeat question.
What is the main difference between Vanaprastha asrama and sannyasa asrama?
Means Vanaprastha means they are going to villages and they will stay there and they will do some farming and they will spend more time to do devotional service to Krishna.
Okay.
And Brahmachari means
Sannyasa
they
ashram.
will
Difference between
Sannyasa ashram. Sannyasa ashram means they are fully leaving the family and fully they are surrendering to Krishna.
Yes, that is the main difference. In Vanaprastha asrama, one can live with wife visiting many holy places and at the same time practicing spiritual activities. But in sannyasa asrama, one cannot live with wife, family members. One should live without family life. That is the main difference, right? And one more thing I want to ask you, all of you, that who initiated process of preaching
Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
in our bona fide Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya? Who initiated process
Chaitanya
of preaching?
Mahaprabhu.
Ah, yes, right. You are right. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself instructed Lord Nityananda Prabhu to preach from door to door, right? Then Lord Nityananda Prabhu took this instruction very seriously, and he started visiting all the houses in the town, and he was distributing continuously from door to door holy names of the Lord, right? So we are following in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is why Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj instructed Srila Prabhupada to preach message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu across the world. So this instruction has been coming down through parampara from beginning from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Srila Prabhupada also instructed his disciples to preach across the world. That is why we are conducting many online classes like this. Even we are unable to meet physically face to face, we are still continuing our preaching through online, following in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Are you also ready to preach? If you are given chance?
Yes, Prabhuji.
We should all be ready to preach message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, message of Krishna consciousness across the world as much as possible. Please be ready. You may get chance at any time. Okay. Okay. Let's continue with another para. Here, one more important point that we have read in the last para, that Srila Prabhupada, when he saw his business failures, then what he felt, it was blessings of Krishna, right? When Prabhupada had a chemical factory, he was doing business, but at one point of time, he got many losses in his business, and at one point of time, there was huge destruction of his factory. Then Prabhupada felt it as Krishna's blessing, because he was not completely dedicated to preaching Krishna consciousness message across the world. He was continuing his business at one point of time. So when he got many losses, and when his factory got destructed by some accident, fire accident, he felt it is Krishna's blessings. Unless he becomes detached from his business life or family life, he cannot preach message of Krishna consciousness at full time. So that is why he understood that incident as Krishna's blessing. So that he can detach his life from material life and attach to spiritual life. So if you also face this situation, what do you feel? If you are given more opportunities to preach Krishna consciousness message and detach from your material life, do you become morose or do you become happy? How do you consider this opportunity? I ask Manvik to answer. Manvik,
It's like this is a great opportunity.
thank you. If we are given more opportunities for preaching Krishna consciousness message, and if we get some failures in our material life, we should not become morose. We should learn from life of Srila Prabhupada. We did not become morose. he was not distressed by that incident. He treated that as Krishna's blessing. So he thought Krishna's blessing came in that form, giving him opportunity to preach Krishna's message, and at the same time becoming detached from his material life, his business life, so that he can preach the message across the world. Okay. Hare Krishna, can one of you read this para?
Would you mind if we'll read?
Okay. Hare Krishna, could you please read?
Okay, Prabhuji. In Allahabad, Abhay managed to save enough money to receive the printing
revive.
revive the printing of Back to Godhead and February 1952 from his editorial office and home at 57
57B.
Canning Road. The first issue in 8th year appeared as before. He did everything himself, all the writing, typing, editing, meeting, and the printer, and finally distributing the copies by hand as well as mailing them to respectable leaders throughout India. This he felt was the real purpose of living in Allahabad or anywhere. This was the best use of money, the purpose of human life, to engage fully the glorifying the Supreme Lord. Other things were temporary and would soon be lost. When he was
It's okay, it's okay. Stop there. What is the purpose of human life mentioned in this para? Who can answer?
To glorify Supreme Lord.
Yes. Purpose of human life is to glorify Supreme Lord. How did Prabhupada glorify Supreme Lord? How did Prabhupada did that? Jashit, can you answer?
Oh, Prabhu. Means like Prabhu means like preaching about his glories.
Prabhupada glorified Supreme Lord by printing books, by writing books, by writing books about Supreme Lord Krishna. Thus, he glorified Krishna. Sorry. He glorified Krishna by writing about Krishna's holy name qualities in his books. He gave many purports to verses of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. He alone typed glories of Supreme Lord and he edited them, and he put many efforts in printing books, and he personally met persons who were working in printing press, and he alone distributed his books. So Prabhupada did everything for giving us opportunity to read glorifications of Supreme Lord. So we should be very grateful to Prabhupada. If Prabhupada did not do this, what would be our situation today? What we would be reading now? We would be reading unnecessary novels, journals, papers, newspapers. What is the use of reading them? There is no use. If Prabhupada would have not endeavored in such a way to print, to edit, to type, to do everything for giving us this Krishna consciousness message, what would be our situation today? So we should be very thankful and grateful to Prabhupada. We should remember Prabhupada. We should be very loving to Prabhupada because of his great endeavors, we got very great opportunity to read Glories of Supreme Lord. So let us thank and salute to Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. You can all say.
Jai Srila Prabhu.
Jai Srila
Srila
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada ki jai. Okay. We can end reading Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita for now. We have one important
Prabhuji,
notice.
we should read Brahma Samhiti.
Hmm?
We should read Brahma Samhiti, Prabhuji.
Actually, only 1 minute is
Brahma
left.
Samhita.
Only 1 minute is left. So I want to.
Prabhuji, Prabhuji makes us read and he told that he will continue
Prabhuji,
from
but we
today.
take more
But
than
he did
8
not
p.m.
came
to
today,
complete.
Prabhuji.
No, I am told to end by 8 o'clock. Only 1 minute is left. Is it fine? You can read tomorrow.
Okay, Prabhuji.
No, because only 1 minute is left. I am asked to end by 8 o'clock. Okay. So we have one important notice that we are starting Peace March tomorrow from ISKCON Abids Temple. Do you know? Do you all know?
Yes, Prabhuji, they told that from my mother, they told that from 26th November till 4th December, Prabhuji. 26th November to 4th December.